Hello, Reds. Welcome back to another episode of Liverpool Latest. My name is Matt. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoy today's video or podcast, wherever you are watching or listening, please be sure to leave a like, give me some thoughts down in the comments section if your platform allows, and most importantly, follow or subscribe for future content from the show. I have a few things to touch on here. Some of it kind of correlates in with each other, and I think it's best that we just get right to it. Obviously, as always, I like to touch on Arne Slot's presser after a match because it gives me an insight to what he's thinking going forward, how he felt about the match, and what we all watched. Which, again, there is belief that this could be one of the iffier losses of the seasons, one of the more boring games that we have played. So I think the key reason for that, and there's a couple, but we'll get into the list of them first and we'll kind of break it down from there, is the injuries. Injuries didn't do us any favors. Ekitike being out within the first 5 minutes certainly put a damper on any plans we had from an attack standpoint. Squad imbalance. Who's going to take the reins, so to speak, from in the attack, and who's going to help support in the midfield as well as the defense. Fatigue is certainly another thing. They have been playing quite a bit of matches. They probably would have been playing even more matches had they. They probably would have been playing even more matches had they were in other, had they been in other competitions. But and last but certainly not least is the inconsistency aspect, because one day we'll do pretty bad, one day we'll do all right, maybe one day we'll do really good, and then it just dips right back down and nosedives from there. It's a very uneven roller coaster of results we have been getting this season, and it is an absolute painful watch. Many supporters of the team I have watched on social media have said this is probably the most unfun time to be a fan, which is insane to say, considering that just about a year ago, we had won the Premier League. Crazy, right? Very crazy. So, for Slot, it seems as though the main reasons for the defeat involve the momentum disrupted by injuries, which, let's be fair, we are also going into quite a few injuries to begin with. We had issues with Mo Salah being gone for a muscle injury. Alisson Becker was out for God knows what at this rate. And it seems like he'll be out for a extended period of time, from what I have been reading. So they were already ruled to be out. Ekitike being taken out was kind of like the icing on the cake. Granted, I don't think it's going to be a long-term injury. It seems like he was able to walk it off relatively well going to the sideline. So maybe we just kind of play that by ear and see what's going on for the international break, or after the international break. So even then, I think probably one of the biggest inconsistencies we have been seeing is the selection of chances. Or what chances are we trying to create? It seems as though some days we're doing a really good job. For instance, Galatasaray. They created probably some of the best offensive chances I have seen them create all season. And considering that Galatasaray is not necessarily a fantastic team to go up against, this should have been a no-brainer for Liverpool. Why is it that with bottom-of-the-barrel teams, we in the Premier League specifically, we are consistently finding problems in the sense of trying to create offensive chances for our attack? It does not make any sense to me. Just today, Tottenham lost like 2 or 3-0. Tottenham just got a point against us a very short period ago. Wolves also got us recently. These are teams that should not should have no business getting any points against us in this time of the season. All right? They're already bottom of the barrel, lower half of the table, hell, even lower third of the table, even relegation. And yet somehow, some way, we find ways to concede points and give away goals that are absolutely mind-boggling to me. And again, that might have something to do with the schedule. We're playing a lot of games between FA Cup, Champions League, and Premier League. Now, had we have been in the Carabao Cup, that would have been another game to add on to the list. And considering the fact that we had so many injuries, well, it's needless to say we probably wouldn't have fared very well in the Carabao. By the way, shout out Man City. I hate you very much, but the City pool allegations will never go away. Arsenal are bottlers. So once again, no titles. And anyway, that's out of the way. Back to the main issue at hand. But it's funny because throughout the course of Slot talking about all these issues that he's been seeing, he acknowledges the context, but refuses to hide behind excuses. Yet for some reason, every time there is a match, I feel like the same reasons are being given. So at what point is it just reasons for a loss becoming an excuse? It seems like it's the same song and dance here. And listen, this is where I question Slot's ability to manage because, and I said this in the last video, at what point is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, going to get tired for everyone? What are we doing in training that's not transitioning to the field? What are we doing on the field that is not clicking? What are our players individually doing that is not allowing them to click as a team? Something is going wrong. And Slot can say the reasons he wants, but at some point it feels like a main excuse. It really does feel like an excuse at this rate for me. So, if you ask me, Arne Slot is under more pressure now than ever. He should be thanking his lucky stars. There is an international break taking place for the next 2 weeks. And the fact that we are not playing a single match. The worst thing about this is, the next time we do play a match is against Man City, who just won the Carabao Cup in the FA Cup. So now we have to play, well, a City team that, 1, we haven't been able to beat all season, 2, has dominated us, and 3 is now just coming off a very impressive win against, again, the top team in the Premier League, despite how not so top they are, really. They're not really that good of a team, Arsenal. I don't care what anybody says, but... So, and like I said earlier, we have just scored 1 point in the last 3 matches. Wolves, Tottenham, and Brighton. And you know what that one singular point was from? Tottenham. We lost against Wolves. We lost against Brighton. So, it seems like momentum, for as quickly as it comes up, once again nosedives straight down to an even further depth of hell. So, it really does hurt to watch as a fan. It's like watching them go back to square one every single week. It's like, that's what it feels like. It's going back to square one. At what point is the ownership and the sporting director and anyone who's in charge of making the decision to sack Slot, at what point are they going to realize that this is just a hamster wheel of pain, doing the same thing over and over again, except the fact that the hamster's not actually running, it's actually spinning with the wheel because the wheel is about to fall off and the hamster has lost control. That is essentially where we are at right now. We are under pressure, Freddie Mercury and David Bowie style. Dun 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 dun. I'm sorry, I'll stop. But still, 10 defeats, 10 league defeats. I said this in the last match. There is a statistic that we have not lost that many matches in probably like 10 years. or close to 10 years. That is mind-boggling to me. How have we allowed ourselves to get to this point is the other problem. We have 7 games remaining, and we still have to secure Champions League qualification. Because if you ask me, without Champions League qualification, regardless of if Arne Slot gets sacked between now and the FA Cup, who's to say that if he doesn't get the Champions League qualification, that he's going to have a job anymore? I mean, at that point, you have to cut him loose, right? Like, you have to do something at that rate, which I highly doubt they will even do then, because it's taken them this long to make a decision. But it's just gotten to the point where the squad balance is all out of whack. Partially that is because of the injuries. So I can't really blame him for that too much. And I really can't even blame the players. Freak accidents happen. I mean, look at Endo. I still don't even know what injured Endo, but somehow, some way, that guy was still able to stand for a few more minutes trying to block a shot. And absolutely balls of steel, that guy. Hell, even Ekitike scored breaking his leg. Like, we have moments of brilliance. We have players. The problem is they're all fucking injured. And the worst part about it is the players we spent a shit ton of money on are not performing the way we would like them to. Wirtz hasn't done shit the last couple of weeks, to be honest, which is sad to see. Kerkez has been doing well. He's probably the only one I can say. Frimpong has been doing all right in his own right as well. But honestly, the only player worth a damn I've been watching on the pitch every day is Dominic Szoboszlai. If I'm being dead honest with you, he's probably one of the only players worth a damn on the field. So, Slot's got to get it together, man. He's really got to get it together. The squad's got to get it together, mind you, with all these injuries that we got going on here. I mean, there's like 9-10 injuries on this team right now. And this is also including the likes of older injuries, too. I mean, Ekitike is the latest one. Apparently he sustained some sort of dead leg, which I'm not really sure what exactly entails as a dead leg injury, but I guess maybe he lost feeling his leg or something. So clearly his early exit in that game against Brighton impacted the structure and the plan going into the match. Thankfully, like I said, it's not serious. He should be back soon, probably most likely against City in the FA Cup match. And then Becker, who we have no exact idea where he's going to be. I've seen him confirm that it's going to be a while. I've also seen things that he's expected to return against the Man City in the FA Cup match. I doubt it. I am in a very big doubt that will happen. Unless he doesn't do anything at all and the medical team is able to take care of him properly, I don't see him playing at the FA Cup, which scares me because Mamardashvili will be in net. And we all know my feelings about him. Mo Salah obviously has a muscle issue, as I've said. He's not joining Egypt for the international break, so that is one thing that we don't have to worry about him furthering that injury. Luckily, he is also expected to return April 4th for the Man City FA Cup match. Alexander Isak is probably the biggest name of the bunch in this list because he's been back into training, but not full sessions. He's been out for 3 months with that fractured leg that he scored. I think it was against Tottenham, I'm like 90% sure that was. He is also expected to have some sort of return against Man City as well. I believe that we definitely need him on the field because the combination of Salah, Isak, and Ekitike would be an absolute... That would feed families, bro. That would feed families. But you know what? Slot won't do that because he's going to throw in fucking Cody Gakpo somewhere in there. He'll find some way to throw in Cody Gakpo. But... And even then, with the lack of creativity and inconsistencies in the attack, I highly doubt that even this trio will be able to get anything done, to be honest with you. Connor Bradley, we know, out for the season with that ACL. knee surgery. Hope he's doing well. Giovanni Leone will probably start at the beginning of next season. He's been a very missed addition to the team. It's a real shame to see him go. Endo has been targeting June and the World Cup, so he's definitely out for the season. That's been pretty much confirmed. The two names that I want to talk about that are kind of worrying, the fact that I've heard little to no information on, but Jaden Danns. Apparently, he's recently returned from re-injuring his hamstring. His status is still uncertain, but could return soon. And I feel like I've heard this news for a while, but I have yet to see any actual confirmation on whether or not he's going to be on the field. And honestly, at this rate, we might as well play the young kids. We might as well play guys like Danns because, and I don't think Danns is that bad. I think Danns did a pretty solid job for the times I've seen him before Klopp left. So my only hope is that Jaden Danns can give us some much needed youth and life into this team because clearly the rest of the team is not doing so well in that regard. And Stefan Bajcetic, oh god, I feel like I butcher that every single time. This is the one that kind of worries me. He's got a long-term hamstring injury that has had multiple setbacks, and we've heard almost next to nothing about for the better part of several months. Is he alive? Are you okay, Stefan? Blink twice if you're in trouble, brother, because I want you to get better. Clearly, you were supposed to be a very large part of this team. People were talking him up consistently, and yet he's been gone for so long. Half the time, unless I see his name in lists like this, I forget he exists. Because I think I've barely ever seen the guy play since I started watching the team. So, it's a real shame. The good news is some players are expected back in a few weeks. So, I can't be too worried. But what I am a bit worried about is Virgil van Dijk, who seems to constantly be the guy the media goes to when it comes to growing frustrations between fans and probably themselves. He's the captain of the team, so obviously he's going to be one of the first guys they speak to in the media outside of Slot. And a big quote that he talked about that's been used in the media a lot is the quote being, "I don't know what to say." And that, I think, is regards to a different scenario entirely. I think he was like watching players train on the field or something, or they were warming up, and he saw like maybe the amount of players that were ready to warm up, and I guess that's where that quote came from. But even then, I don't know what to say could apply to many things with this team. The form, the inconsistencies, the management, the players not stepping up. That could be I don't know what to say means a lot more than just saying, holy shit, we don't really have a lot of guys on our squad right now. At least that's what I interpreted it as initially when the quote was making the rounds. The other thing he said was repeating the same things after every defeat. He is specifically. So I don't know, Verge. Why don't you do something different? Why don't you do something different then? Why don't you try something a little bit different instead of going back to the same shit over and over and over again? Same thing with the rest of the team and same thing with Sly. Why don't you have a little risk? We're at the end of the season. We have 7 matches to go. And yet here we are. We're bitching and whining about how we're doing the same shit, yet nobody seems to want to step up and say, hey, let's do something different. It's not like they have much to lose at this point. They have a lot more to lose than they have a lot more to lose than they do to gain at this point, because honestly, at this rate, I don't think they're even going to make top 5 from my personal perspective. But again, the inconsistency has been something that he also noted as well. The Champions League concern is also there. The current form, in his word or his warning, is not good enough for not only Champions League qualification. I'll go as far as to say that it's not good enough to stay in the Champions League. If we face PSG in the state that we're in right now, we are getting dog walked, bro. We are getting mollywopped. We are getting our asses pushed in a very, very uncomfortable manner. That will probably be some of the worst games we will watch this season, and we have seen a lot of bad games as Liverpool fans in 2025 going into 2026. These next 7 games are very, very critical for us. And the worst part is that some of them are against top competition, like United, who are still in the top 4, Villa, who are still in the top 4. If we can't win matches like that, I don't know what to say. I truly don't know what to say. Now, he also goes on to say that in regards to the responsibility of the squad, there's his strong message is in the sense that it's on the players collectively. Which I agree. I don't think Slot is corely the blame. I think he has a majority of the blame, but I think a lot of the blame should also go to the players on the field as well. They have not been up to par for most of the season, and they should not be absolved of any scrutiny. I've said this with the likes of guys like Salah early on in the season. Like, I love Salah, bro, and I really do. And I don't think he's above a benching, but I think the way Slot was kind of going about it was a little bit wrong, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's got to stay on the bench all game. Clearly, he could be help in some regards, but it seems as though he was very content to keep Salah on the bench for quite some time. Hell, I don't even think anybody on the defense could be on the bench because, frankly, without them, we don't have a defense. Let's be honest here. Let's be 100% honest. And I've seen some fans in this particular article I was reading where I got this information. The comments were basically kind of split in the sense where, yes, Slot is to blame in regards to the tactics and such, but the players should also have a lot of blame there too. And clearly they are not playing as hard as they should. And there's been theories getting thrown every which way. Are they mutinying? Are they just over it? Are they done with this season? Like, do they just want it to be over and they're going through the motions? We don't know. The fact of the matter is they are not putting their best effort on the field, and it's been clear as day. So Van Dijk says to us, the fans and supporters, whether they are home or traveling, the team is not delivering, and that he understands where the frustration is coming from, and there's a responsibility and urgency to make it right for us. But I don't have much faith in that, if I'm being 110% honest with you. I've whatever faith I had throughout the course of the season with each win has dwindled down with each crushing loss or crushing draw that we should have won. It's been a very long and rough season. So honestly, Verge can say whatever he wants to the media to make us feel better about ourselves. I need to see a change. That's the only thing that's going to make me feel better as a fan. I need to see a change in what I'm watching on the field. I can't keep watching the same thing every day or every week with this team. It's bad enough I got to see the same shit with the New York Rangers or the New York Giants or any of my teams that have been absolute dog shit for quite some time now. I got to watch that week in and week out. Give me something to cheer for, man. Give me something to look forward to every week. And that is my Liverpool latest for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to help the show grow and the program grow. Share it with your fellow Reds, because when you join the Liverpool Latest family, you, my friend, will never walk alone. Until next time.